Hi everyone, I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm located right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia, but my clients are all throughout the United States. We handle all types of immigration issues. We handle individuals and families that are looking to extend their own visas, sponsor family members. We help with humanitarian cases if you qualify for asylum, if you qualify as a victim of abuse to receive your own green card without your spouse. We can help with that as well. And we also help employers sponsor green cards, sponsor H-1B visas, and literally everything that falls under immigration. So if you have an immigration question, we most likely will be able to help you. Call our office. We are at 703-348-1663. If you're just joining us, I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney located right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia, and we handle all types of immigration cases. So today it's an opportunity for you to ask me questions, ask me any of your immigration questions. Most of the time, we get calls from clients that just have this one-off question. So we have this, so I have this, so you have the opportunity to ask your question. If you want to get more in detail about your specific immigration case, I would say the best thing for you to do is call our office and we can have a one-on-one conversation about your entries, your exits, literally your whole life story, and we can figure out what the best immigration options are for you. Just really dive into that problem and answer that for you. So right now we're doing our consultations by Zoom, which would be a lot like this. You'll be talking to me like this, but it'll just be you and me, and we'll really have the opportunity to get in depth about your immigration questions and options and go through literally the available options, the process that's involved, what applications need to be filed, what documents you need as exhibits, the timing for this and different timing options. Sometimes applications can be premium processed in 2 weeks. Other times they might take months, even years to get approved. So we'll go through all of that and all the fees involved, our fees as well as the government fees. So the consultation really is a great opportunity for you to figure out how to move forward, how to take that next step to maybe get into status if you're not already in status, or how to maintain your status if you're not in status. Anyway, I am streaming on both Facebook and on TikTok right now, so go ahead and type your questions in. If you lose me on one platform, please feel free to join me on the other. My handle on both is at Agarwal Immigration. If you're just joining, again, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration lawyer. Okay, go ahead and type your questions in. Prabhat says hello or hi there. Hi, Prabhat. Nice to see you. Go ahead and put your question in if you have it. I also have some things that come up in my practice, and I'll start going over those while I wait for you guys to put your questions in. We have several people here today. Hi, Aisha. Hi, Shafi. Hi, Ubayad. Hi, Mrs. Gill. Hi, Arti. Hi, Tanandalal. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing here. Hi, Anaya. Hi, Arti. Hi, Kamala. Hi, Labon. Arti says hello. Hi. Hira says, hello, ma'am. I have a 5-year-old's green card. Can I apply for citizenship now? Most likely, yes, Hira. You should be able to apply for citizenship, but know that there are so many requirements for citizenship to qualify. Most people will qualify, but if you're unsure, you should call our office. And most often, I would say if you have a criminal issue, then you should certainly schedule a consultation with an attorney if you've had a criminal charge or if you've had a criminal conviction while you're a green card holder and you want to apply for citizenship. It's best to call an attorney and have a consultation, because most people don't know that sometimes certain convictions, if you're a green card holder and you're just sitting there being a green card holder and you never do anything, you're probably okay. With some convictions, not all of them, some criminal convictions, not all of them. If you're sitting there being a green card holder and you're not doing anything different, you may be okay to be there without any issue. But if once you apply for citizenship, you might trigger some removal grounds, right? So you want to be careful. So I would say people with criminal convictions, if you're a green card holder and you're interested in applying for citizenship, you definitely should talk to an attorney to make sure it's all good. It won't be problematic for you to apply for your citizenship. Okay. But here for you, let's assume you don't have any criminal issues. Essentially, for citizenship, you kind of have a few different requirements. One is if you have to be a green card holder and live permanently in the U.S. for 5 years, meaning, the U.S. was your permanent residence, that this was your home. You could, of course, travel in and out, but you generally, in the last 5 years, the U.S. was your permanent residence. The other important requirement really is it was your physical body in the U.S. for half the period of time that's required for you to become a citizen, right? So some marriage-based green cards, you only need 3 years to be a green card holder before you can become a citizen. So half that time was your physical body in the U.S. So that's for people that are married to U.S. citizens. Other people that have a 5-year requirement, you need 2.5 years physically being in the U.S. And then good moral character is another one as well. So there are several different requirements. It can be fairly straightforward, or it can be complicated. So if you don't understand the forms, if you find them confusing, if you're not sure if you qualify, the best thing to do is maybe schedule a consultation with an attorney to make sure that it is not problematic for you to apply for citizenship. Okay? You can call our office for a consultation. We help clients all throughout the U.S. Our office is outside of D.C. in Arlington, Virginia, but we're doing our consultations by phone or by Zoom based on your preference. So either whatever works for you, call us and schedule something if you have some kind of question you want to go in depth into your case. Okay, Hira, we can certainly do a consultation to see if you qualify for citizenship. And the way to reach us best is 703-348-1663. Prabhath is saying, one of my friends is in the U.S. for the last 10 years and he has a U.S.-born son. Can he get some kind of legal documents? Number one, depends how old his son is. So his son might be able to sponsor him. But, sometimes people qualify based on experiences that they've had. So I have a client that we're working with right now who was here on a visa, who entered on a tourist visa, and and the visa expired, right? So she entered on a tourist visa for 6 months. She was allowed to be in the US, and that visa expired. Then she had this incident at a convenience store where she was a witness to a crime. So she was able to qualify for what's called a U visa for a victim of a crime. And this visa will lead eventually to a green card once it gets approved. And once she has held it for a certain number of years, she'll be able to get a green card, and then eventually she'll be able to become a citizen. So this is a person that came in as a tourist, overstayed, and has been out of status for so many years. And now she has a path to a green card based on one of her experiences, right? So that might be your friend also, Prabhat. So sometimes people don't realize that there are certain things that have happened in their life or their experience that may qualify them for an immigration benefit to put them in status, okay? So call us and we can certainly evaluate that for you. Pass our information on to your friend. We're at 703-348-1663. We'd be happy to help with that. Okay. But yes, for children to be able to sponsor their parents, they have to be 21 years old. There are some other requirements as well. Of course, if he's been out of status for a long time, or if he entered illegally, there could be different issues. But generally for kids to sponsor their parents, they have to be 21 or over. All right. Let's see. On to the next question. Prabhat says, thank you. You're welcome. All right. So Ramon says, hi. Hello. Hi, Malkeith. Hi, Mommy. Hi, Rishay. Hi, Payal. Hi, Randeep. Goodness, I'm trying to get on to the next question. There's a lot of people on here. Hi, Rahul. Hi, Sweet Rucha. Hi. All right. Let's see. Hi. I'm just wanting for a visa call for my parents, but I don't know how long that will take. Payal says, I would like a visa for my parents. I think that's what you're asking, but I don't know how long it will take. Well, um, if you're, looking for a visa for your parents, it depends on the embassy right now, right? So if they're abroad and you want them to just visit you, it usually can be done in like a month or so, maybe not even, that's normal time. But right now with coronavirus, I don't know if the embassies are open, right? And you want to make sure that your parents go there with all the documents that are required. So when you're applying for a tourist visa, what the embassy is really looking at is, are your parents going to overstay? Are they likely to overstay their tourist visa? Okay. So if they have a home abroad, if they are leasing an apartment or own property, if they have other family members or other children even abroad, where they're from, if they have their bank accounts, if they're voting, all of these things showing strong ties to their home country, they're more likely to get a visa. So when they go into that visa interview, I would say be prepared with all this information. Be prepared with these kinds of documents, because the focus is always, do they have strong ties? Do they have strong ties to their home country? Are they likely to overstay their visa? So the more ties they have, the more likely they're to get their tourist visa. So that's what I would say, Pyle, if you would like to have your parents get a tourist visa. And you know what? Sometimes we do preps. If anyone is interested, we do like a prep session for people that are going into a visa interview. So we can help you apply for the tourist visa, and we can also do a Zoom call, because obviously people are abroad that are applying for a tourist visa from abroad. We would do a Zoom call and a prep on sort of what the questions are that come up, what is the best way to answer them, and what information to highlight to show that you do intend to return to your home country. Okay? Call us if we can help you. We're at 703-348-1663. Mahander says, can we trade cannabis stocks while on immigration visa? I'm actually not 100% sure about that. I would think that if you're not using and it's not a criminal violation, it probably should not matter, is what I'm guessing. But don't quote me on that. I think it should be okay if it's not really a crime. I don't see why, as long as everything is being done legally, my guess would be that it would be okay. But, you may want to, depends on what you're doing. Like, let's say you're a green card holder, right? Or I think, Mahinder, maybe you're on H-1B. But as long as you're not doing something criminal, and as long as you're doing something consistent with the visa type that you have, you should be okay. All right. Hi, Rohit. Nice to see you. Rohit is asking, is a tourist visa open from India to the U.S.? I'm not 100% sure on whether they're taking these appointments right now. I believe they're opening up, if not already. You can at least apply, but I think they are taking a while to schedule the interviews for them. So we haven't done one in our office recently, but I believe that they are taking interviews. All right, Sunny's saying hello. Hi, Sunny. Nice to see you. Mahinder says thank you. You're welcome. So Ramon is saying, hey, how long will it take from a mother to bring her kids from a different country to the U.S.? If you're looking at a tourist visa, it'll be fairly quick. Otherwise, it might be a couple of years to apply for a green card. So the process would start here for the mom to apply for her kids. And I'm assuming, if she's a U.S. citizen, it'll go a little bit faster. If she's a green card holder, it will also go a little bit faster. But they could be dependents on her visa type, right? So they could also qualify as dependents. So I would need a little bit more information about what status the mom holds. But let's say she's either a green card holder or a U.S. citizen. A visa is usually immediately available. So there's no visa wait time. It's just the whole processing time that can take a long time. So it can take up to 2 years maybe even longer, to be honest. It can take 2 to 2.5 years, the whole process to get the green card if you're if the person here is a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. To bring kids, it could take a couple of years. They may be able to come in and visit on a tourist visa, which it may be problematic also just because of this whole intent requirement that I talked about earlier and their ties to their home country. But call us if we can help you, and we can help you come up with this strategy and give you some options. We're at 703-348-1663. Hi, Therith. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Hidayat. Hi, Hidayat. I hope you're doing well. Hidayat says today was his interview and he did it today. Fantastic. I can't wait to hear all of your good news, Hidayat. Very, very exciting. Very exciting. Lost Boy says, I applied for a VAWA and I got an illegal entry. Is there any chance for advanced parole? Yes, absolutely. So if you've applied for a VAWA, VAWA, for those of you that are not familiar with VAWA, VAWA is for victims of abuse, right? So if you're either married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder and you're suffering abuse at the hands of your U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse, that's one way to qualify for a VAWA. You can also qualify for a VAWA, for example, if your child is 21 or over and they're abusing you, the parent, you can still qualify for a VAWA. You can get a green card based on this abuse. And it doesn't necessarily have to be physical abuse only. It can be emotional abuse. It can be psychological abuse. It can be financial abuse. So many people don't even know, to be honest. We talk to clients and they don't even realize that some of their experiences and the things that are happening to them can be qualified as abuse, right? So they're just used to this kind of treatment and don't realize that we can use that really to help them get a green card. Anyway, so that's what VAWA is. So essentially, when you apply for a VAWA, and let's say you're married to a U.S. citizen, I'm going to use this as an example. So let's say you're married to a U.S. citizen and your spouse is abusing you, not always physical, but let's say emotional, psychologically, verbally abusing you. Okay, you can apply for a VAWA. You may qualify for a VAWA. And with that, you also apply for your green card, right? So you're basically petitioning for yourself for a green card. So essentially, when you do that, you can qualify for a work permit, which normally comes in about 6 to 8 months. And you also qualify for advanced parole, which is really your travel document. It allows you to travel. While your application is pending. And then hopefully, ultimately, you'll get a green card. So you'll be able to travel up until you get a green card, and then you can travel on your green card. So essentially, one of the benefits can be, if you qualify for VAWA, that you get a work permit in 6 to 8 months and you get a travel authorization in also 6 to 8 months. It's the same time frame. Lost Boy here is asking, is there a chance for advanced parole, which is the travel document? So yes, absolutely, you should be able to get a travel document. But listen, Lost Boy, I'm not actually sure what your situation is, right? Your specific situation. So if you have court proceedings currently happening, I would not recommend that you travel, okay? But let's say you just entered illegally, you never got caught, you never had any contact with immigration authorities, and then you applied for VAWA, and you received your work authorization and your travel authorization, which you should apply for it if you qualify. You should apply for work and travel authorization if you're applying for a VAWA and you qualify. You can certainly travel in 6 months, 6 to 8 months after you apply. You should be able to travel while your green card application is pending. So that's a really, really good benefit of VAWA. So if you qualify, you should certainly have applied for both work and travel authorization also. You can call us if we can help you. We're at 703-348-1663. Jessica says, Jessica, I lost you here. Jessica says, is unemployment a valid source of income that combines with work? I'm guessing you're thinking about green cards, right? And qualifying for the affidavit of support. if you don't have enough income, you can get a joint sponsor to help you qualify. But the income requirements aren't actually super, super high. They're not as high as one might think. So you can check that out online, and it will tell you, depending on the size of your household, how much income you need to have. Okay, so that is something that's helpful. You do need to qualify or show enough income. The person who you're sponsoring, you can also use their income to qualify. So give us a call if we can help you. We're at 703-348-1663. Har says, hello. Hey, how are you? There it says, will asylum pending visa will be included in immigration reform bill? Well, all different types, people that are on TPS, sometimes people have asylum pending, may qualify. So we don't know. I want you to not put all your eggs in the way the bill looks right now, right? So it can go through all sorts of transformations. It can go through all sorts of different reiterations before it becomes law. So let's keep in mind that it can change drastically, and it's really, really great that it's been introduced, but it is not law yet. Okay, so let's keep in mind, and let's try to get you guys in status. If you're not already in status, let's try to get you in status with the current laws, because that's a bit of more of a sure thing right now, at least. Okay. All right. Thunder says, hi, how long will it take to get a work permit and travel document after biometrics on a VAWA case? So I would say 1 to 2 months after your biometrics, you should be able to get your work permit and your travel documents. Okay, if we can help you with your case, call us. We're at 703-348-1663. Randeep is saying, I applied for I-751 for a green card before 6 months ago. How long do you know? It takes actually a really long time. It takes a long time. I would say at least like close to a year and a half to get that interview for the I-751. For those of you who do not know about this and the I-751, just generally speaking, it is so people that are married less than 2 years when they get their green card, the green card is only issued for 2 years, and then you have to remove conditions. So basically, you have to show immigration that you are still married, that the marriage was for legitimate purposes, not just for immigration purposes. At the end of that 2-year period, and then you get a permanent 10-year green card. So that's the normal process. Okay, so sometimes it's difficult for people to show at the end of 2 years because the marriage didn't turn out the way that they wanted it to turn out. So you can still go and apply for that 10-year green card on your own without your spouse based on the marriage problems, right? So you can show extreme cruelty, you can show abuse, and certainly you should work with an immigration lawyer if you are in that situation. Your marriage is not working out and you have a 2-year green card and you're trying to go for that 10-year green card. That's certainly something you should do if you're in that situation. Call us if we can help you, 703-348-1663. But generally, normal standard processing, I-751 conditions, removal of conditions, it can take over a year. Okay. Hey, Hidayat. Bhavna says, hi, ma'am. Hi, how are you? Bhavna says, are you in Jersey City? No, Bhavna, I am in Arlington, Virginia, which is outside of Washington, D.C. So it's not that far, actually, from Jersey City. And immigration, it's considered a federal practice. So that means we can represent clients all throughout the United States. Okay, so we can represent clients all throughout the United States as long as you're barred in good standing in one state, which for me, I am barred in both Maryland and in DC. So certainly we can help you no matter where you are in the US. So if you'd like to call us for a consultation, I'd love to talk to you. We're at 703-348-1663. All right, guys, wow, so many questions today. I really love them, but unfortunately, I've got to run. But join me tomorrow. If you are not following us, go ahead and follow us so you can be notified when I go live. All right, so we go live almost every day, or I try to go live almost every day. So go ahead and follow us, and we will. You'll be notified when I am on. All right. It was so nice to see everybody today, and I really loved all of the questions. Join me again tomorrow, and hopefully I can I can answer your questions for you if I didn't get to them today. So hop on early because that's the best way to get those questions in. If you'd like to call us for a consultation, you can call me. My name again is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney, and my phone number is 703-348-1663. All right, nice to see you. Have a great night. Bye.